She made a whopping $43 million in 2024.
Sophia Rain just revealed who her top spender was, and he spent almost $5 million.
All right, how much did you make last month?
6 million.
All right, next person. That was underwhelming. I don't even.
What do you do for a living to afford a car like this?
I do.
How much do you make?
A couple M's.
How much is this car?
500? I don't know. I don't look. I just tap. I don't have time for this. Like, I just pay for it, you know? The G-Wagon, I could crash it. I wouldn't give a about it.
The Bop House is the first OnlyFans content creator house.
A 17-year-old girl was the most requested creator to join the Bop House.
You joined OnlyFans the night you turned 18?
I think so, yeah.
And people subscribed right away?
Yeah.
Should they be in jail?
Yeah. It's sad to see. Sad to see. I was scrolling on TikTok looking for content for my previous videos that I did on Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue. And I was gonna put a whole video together on the problem with OnlyFans. So I was looking into other OnlyFans creators. So I was scrolling and I came across the Bop House. Now before we dive into the Bop House, let me tell you the definition of a bop. A bop is someone who posts their body on the internet or gets around with everybody, if you know what I mean. Remember the good old days when bop meant a really good song? You know, you like recommend someone a song and you're like, oh, you have to listen to the song, it's a bop. Or like the innocent days of High School Musical, bop 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 to the top. Sharpay was my queen. Or bippity boppity boo, my favorite Disney princess. I miss those days. Now that we both know the definition of bop, I'm sure you can assume what the Bop House is all about. The Bop House is the first OnlyFans content creator house. So think the spicy version of Hype House or the modern day Playboy Mansion, dare I say. Not the same, but can paint the picture a little bit for you. It's this giant home filled with OnlyFans models, aka bops, filming content together. The Bop House has a growing social media presence of over 200,000 followers on Instagram and 2 million on TikTok. Plus the individual pages of each of these girls, which are rapidly growing. We're talking hundreds and thousands of followers weekly. So let me quickly run through all of the girls. Let me introduce you to them. I have a feeling I am not going to say all of their last names correctly. So to stay away from that, I'm going to just introduce them by their first names. First up, we've got Alina. She is 24 years old. Aisha, 22 years old. Camilla, 22 years old. Julia, 22 years old. Joy, just 19 years old. And Ava, again, just 19 years old. That is so crazy to me. All of these girls are younger than me. Then we have Sophia Rain, the creator of the Bop House and the final boss of OnlyFans.
You are aware that, like, you're the final boss when it comes to OF, right?
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm.
She made a whopping $43 million in 2024.
She's made waves recently when she revealed she's made an astonishing $43 million in earnings over the past year.
That's more than like star athletes.
Does this OnlyFans model make more or less than these NBA players? Jason Tatum.
Probably $40 million a year. I'm going to assume he makes more than Sophie Rain.
He makes less. He makes $35 million. Anthony Edwards makes just less than Mrs. Rain.
Oh,
I gave away a little hint. $42 million.
Okay. I would assume he has got to make more.
Not quite, Brian. He makes $43 million. Rudy Gobert.
Less.
Rudy Gobert makes slightly more.
That's crazy.
He makes $43.8 million.
That is crazy.
Sophie Rain made $43.4 million.
That's insane.
That's insanity if you ask me. And she's only 20 years old. The following they have on their socials is just wild. And collectively, they have a lot of eyes on them. And with that comes a lot of power, a lot of influence. And that includes a lot of influence on younger girls, which is why I'm creating this video. Now, if a video of theirs were to pop up on your For You page while you're scrolling, or you came across their page and was looking through their content, you may not think much of it. Oh, it's just a bunch of young girls dancing around in their pajamas, or Spider-Man suits, superhero suits, or just very revealing clothing, which is not abnormal on social media. You see a lot of girls doing this, so it comes off as relatable. They're having a good time. They're just like me and you. Relatability causes people to like you, and due to this relatability, there's a lot of younger girls wanting to be a part of this group, looking up to them. They come off as the everyday girl, but they're making bank.
What do you do for a living to afford a car like this?
I do.
How much do you make?
A couple M's.
How much is this car?
500? I don't know. I don't look. I just tap. I don't have time for this. Like, I just pay for it, you know?
Is this your only vehicle?
No. I bought my dad a Corvette, and then my R8 is in the shop. The G-Wagon, I could crash it. I wouldn't give a about about it.
Now, I bet you these young girls are not signing up for their OnlyFans subscriptions. They're not seeing what these men pay for, the content they have to post in order to live in the place that they're at, to have the cars that they drive. They're not doing their research on what they'd be getting themselves into. And although I have personally not ever been in that line of work, I can assure you that it is not all that you see on TikTok. Now, the Bop House, I believe, is still looking for new members to join their house. If you look under the hashtag Bop House on TikTok, there are young girls auditioning to be in this house, doing the same dance moves as these girls, wearing tight clothing, treating this as another TikTok trend. One of the girls that auditioned you may or may not have heard of. Her name is Piper, and she's just 17 years old. She's a child YouTuber. I think she's had YouTube since she was like 9. She reminds me a lot of, I think her name was Danny, dancing around in revealing clothing on the internet. So like I said, she's just 17 years old. So legally, the Bop House cannot take them under their wing yet.
Now, I do not need to tell you why something called the Bop House is devastating to feminism, but I do want to bring to light what I think is the most disturbing aspect of it. In their most recent video, they are advertising for a new girl. Now, I looked at the comments, and unsurprisingly, there are lots of people tagging creators. A 17-year-old girl was the most requested creator to join the Bop House. People wanting a 17-year-old to join.
The thing is, at this young age, you may not see an issue with this, but as you grow up and your frontal lobe develops, you learn more about yourself, your beliefs, your values. You may change your mind, and that digital footprint sticks around. You gotta think about your future, and if you happen to want children, you gotta think about them as well. Think about how it could impact their life. OnlyFans may seem like a quick path to wealth, keyword seem, but at what cost?
Yeah, it may like look appealing, like money, like $43 million, but it's not worth it. It's not. Like, there is a different path for you. Like, you'll make money. It might not be $43 million, but there is a path for you. Bro, I learned from my mistake, I promise you. We need to take these phones away and start putting Bibles in their hands.
As an OnlyFans creator, you/your body becomes a product. It becomes viewed and treated as such. That can be tough for anyone who's seeking love or real, genuine connections. While there are some that genuinely enjoy the work, I believe most people do desire stable relationships. And again, possibly a family in the future, which can be difficult to navigate as an OnlyFans model. I worry that many, especially young girls, barely of legal age, don't fully understand the long-term effects of doing this line of work. The effects of entering the industry at an age where your mind isn't even fully developed. I don't know about y'all, but when I was these girls' age, the young girls now that are just mindlessly scrolling on TikTok, I was out there playing with my friends in the neighborhood. Honestly, I was still playing with my Bratz dolls. I played with those till like a very ripe age. Having sleepovers with my girlfriends, making cookies, watching silly rom-coms. The good old days when social media wasn't a big thing. My role models were girls like Vanessa Hudgens, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez. I'm so grateful that I grew up in really like the last generation that didn't evolve around social media. The last generation that didn't have their phones glued to their hands at all times was nothing like today. I cannot even imagine how young girls feel nowadays and just the pressures from social media. It seems like there's no awkward preteen phase anymore.
Why aren't kids today having ugly and awkward phases? Like, all my friends and I went through weird, awkward phases in middle school, and we share those pictures with each other. And when I look at middle schoolers now, I'm just like, you guys look grown. Like, they fully know how to do their makeup. They're dressed in Lululemon and Zara, and I'm just like, what? And like the colorful leggings, like, why is no one wearing them?
I wanted to do a whole video on that because it's just wild. I remember when I was in junior high, I would wear like pink leggings with a green Aeropostale t-shirt, different colored bows in my hair, and many different colored eyeshadows. It was a time, for sure. But you don't see young girls go through that phase anymore. The Claire's phase, you know? I wasn't allowed to watch shows or movies that were rated R or 18 plus. My parents said absolutely not. Now there's so much more content, unrated, on the internet that is easily accessible to these young girls. Content that children can be exposed to and parents have no idea. But these girls aren't looking up to Lizzie McGuire. It's girls like this now, exploiting and degrading themselves for large sums of money instead of using their talents, their ideas. It just feels like we're moving backwards as women when our bodies are valued more than our minds. I don't know, lately it's just really discouraging to see things like this. The Bop House Lily Phillips sleeping with 100 guys in 24 hours, Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,057 in 12 hours. So obviously it's not just the Bop House. There's a ton of other OnlyFans influencers out there with huge social media presence. They are honestly starting to become the new mainstream influencer. OnlyFans in general is becoming very mainstream. Social media influencers and OnlyFans models are kind of merging into one, and they even have fan pages, and I'm talking like a strong fandom. Like, I'm talking the energy of like Team 10. Did I just unlock a memory for anybody? Now, Sophie Rain did say that she doesn't want girls thinking this lifestyle is all sunshine and rainbows. She doesn't recommend quitting your job for OnlyFans. In my opinion, I feel with the type of content she posts, with and without the girls, she is, whether it's intentional or not. Because the way these girls flash their money in luxury purchases, it just comes off in a very recruiting way, in my eyes. And when you hear how much these OnlyFans creators make, it's very easy to fall into the fantasy of it all. The fantasy of making thousands a month.
All right, how much did you make last month?
6 million.
All right, next person. That was underwhelming. I don't even. Aisha, how much did you make last month?
Like around 2.5 mil.
Do you feel poor yet?
Because I do.
How much did you make last month?
1 million.
Okay, how much did you make last month?
I just made 100K last month.
Yes!
Yay!
How much did you make last month?
600.
$600?
Okay.
But realistically, the average OnlyFans user makes about $150 to $180 per month, which equates to just $2,000 per year. You could make more starting an Etsy store, or just your average everyday job working at McDonald's, for example. So the reality is, this lavish lifestyle is for a very small percentage of people. Many people don't realize how challenging it actually is to make money on OnlyFans. And aspiring to become an OnlyFans model is not as straightforward as it seems. The market is very much oversaturated with tons of people joining, including celebrities. So to have success, it requires a lot of strong skills in marketing, business, and social media to stand out. What makes this situation harmful to society, beyond the impact of these young women, is that it's taking people away from vital jobs that are often difficult. It's alarming that teachers, doctors, etc. can make more money on OnlyFans than in their profession. That's why they're leaving. And these jobs not being properly compensated is a huge issue. The fact that some OnlyFans models are making more than teachers, vets, nurses, doctors, athletes, etc. is insane, and it's really sad. And if the world continues this way, underpaying normal professions, jobs we need humans to be taking part in, this will continue to spiral. This work is often picked up by those who are struggling, that cannot afford to pay for food, clothing, a home. It shouldn't be the first resort for freshly 18-year-olds.
The night you turned 18, you registered to vote?
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Oh, you thought I was going to say join the military.
No, I was going to say is when I joined OnlyFans.
You joined OnlyFans the night you turned 18?
I think so, yeah.
And people subscribed right away?
Yeah.
Should they be in jail?
Yeah.
This line of work used to be looked down upon, not empowering. It's a concerning trend going on right now, so I just wanted to talk about it. I didn't dive into the moral shortcomings of men just because, of course, that comes into play here. We know this. We've been shaming men for this behavior for years. I've received comments on my previous videos on Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue saying, what about the men here? What about all the men lining up to do these acts? And I get it. If these men were out here filling these girls' pockets, this industry wouldn't survive.
Sophia Rain just revealed who her top spender was, and he spent almost $5 million. His name is Charlie. He spent $84 in subscriptions, over $250,000 in messages, and $4.4 million in tips. Charlie, whoever you are, bro, please answer me this question. What could you have possibly gained from almost spending $5 million? And after he seen the post that she made, this is what he decided to do. Draining your entire life savings, your entire 401k. For what?
It's sad to see. Sad to see.
Naked girls online are not good for you. They're giving you a sense of abundance of women that you don't have in your life, and that you think you have, by illusion. What this is doing is forcing you, to some extent, to feel like you have the possibility of meeting all these women online, which you're never gonna meet because they have 1 million followers and they don't even know you exist. Even if you're talking to them on OnlyFans, you actually think you're talking on OnlyFans. You're actually talking to a team, so stop. You're wasting money. Invest that money in something more important. And at the same time, it's preventing you from finding the love of your life. What you should do instead is focus on area of life that you want to focus on. So if you want to focus on work, focus on work. If you want to focus on getting a girl, get a girl. But work towards it. OnlyFans is up your whole life.
Men as consumers in the OnlyFans industry can have a negative impact on women in several ways. Many male subscribers objectify female creators, viewing them solely as sources of entertainment or sexual gratification, which dehumanizes them and reduces their value to their content. This mindset can lead to a lack of respect for the women behind the profiles, making it difficult for creators to be seen as whole individuals beyond their work. Additionally, women can feel pressures from men to create content that they may not feel comfortable doing, just to meet the expectations of their audience. Male consumers may also send inappropriate or disrespectful messages, so harassment is also a significant issue. The male consumer can also keep harmful beauty standards alive. This can lead to body image issues for creators and create an environment where women feel pressure to alter their appearance to meet unrealistic expectations, often resulting in unhealthy behaviors. So in summary, the behavior of men as a consumer in the OnlyFans industry often objectifies women, can pressure them to compromise on their morals, can expose them to harassment and exploitation, and this of course can negatively affect mental health, your body image, and overall well-being. All of this is known, this is not new information, but women need to be held accountable as well for being the drug dealers really in this scenario, feeding into men's addiction to corn. Both parties are at fault here. Now I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on the situation. Do you think these young girls desiring to be part of the corn industry is a problem? Do you think boys will grow up thinking that this is normal for women to do?
Porn is such a bad thing for young men because if you regularly watch it, you're addicted to it. It puts you in a place where you always need novelty. But when I was younger, I could meet a great girl, but after a few weeks or a few months, I would pretty much play her out because I got bored. Because of social media. When you watch it often, when you watch it at all, you always watch different things, which creates these new scenarios, these new playouts, and these new girls that you're basically lusting over and over again. This constant new girl creates this idea of novelty, something new, it's exciting. These girls were beautiful, they treated me great, they wanted to make me a priority, and it would have been a great relationship. But to me, it was like, she's great, but I wonder if I could get the same thing in someone hotter. I know that makes me sound like an ass, I get it. This is the opposite reaction to the same addiction, and most people never actually talk about it.
What do you guys think our future looks like? I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions down below. Keep it respectful. I love y'all so much, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!